Once, Las Vegas was untouchable, a living postcard of American excess where you could lose your money but find your freedom. It was loud, gaudy, glorious, and weirdly democratic, a place where the millionaire and the mechanic shared the same blackjack table. But that Vegas is gone. What replaced it is colder, emptier, and ruled by the same corporate machine that crushed every other dream in America. Tonight we're pulling back the velvet curtain to reveal who really killed the city that never stopped shining. Vegas didn't die overnight. It was taken apart, quietly, piece by people in suits who never touched a poker chip in their lives. The first suspect in the murder of old Las Vegas isn't a person, it's a mindset. The corporate takeover. Once upon a time, this city was a carnival, family-owned casinos with wild themes, eccentric showmen, and reckless ambition. You had places like the Stardust, the Sahara, and the Riviera, each one run by people who loved the thrill more than the profit margin. The owners lived in Vegas, walked the floors, knew the names of their dealers. It was messy, chaotic, and human. But that human touch, the thing that made Vegas alive, has been replaced by something far colder: spreadsheets and shareholders. Today, the Strip is controlled by a handful of giants: MGM Resorts, Caesars Entertainment, Wynn, and a few shadowy private equity groups hiding behind LLCs. They own the casinos, the restaurants, the nightclubs, the parking lots, even the sidewalks. This isn't the Vegas of Sinatra and sand dunes anymore. It's an asset portfolio. It started with the mergers. MGM swallowed Mirage Resorts and later Bellagio. Caesars gobbled up Planet Hollywood and Harrah's. The rest were carved up by investment funds that saw neon not as art, but as leverage. Each deal came with the same buzzwords: efficiency, synergy, consolidation. But what those words really meant was fewer jobs, higher fees, and the death of individuality. Take a walk down the Strip in 2025 and try to tell one resort from another. Themed hotels have been gutted. The pirate ships at Treasure Island, gone. The volcano at the Mirage, extinct. Even the Tropicana, one of the last old guard icons, demolished to make way for a baseball stadium. Everything that gave Vegas personality is being bulldozed for luxury monotony. And for what? To please quarterly earnings reports. To shave another percentage point off labor costs. To maximize shareholder value. The casinos don't care if you win or lose. They care if you sign up for the rewards card. The goal isn't to make you happy, it's to make you stay long enough for the algorithm to squeeze every dollar out of you. The result? A city that feels less like a playground and more like an airport terminal. The same overpriced cocktails, the same sterile lobby music, the same corporate branding plastered across everything. The heart of Vegas, that wild, unpredictable charm, has been replaced by a dull, calculated sameness. What once was a gambler's paradise has become a corporate experiment. And the worst part? The suits didn't just steal the money, they stole the magic. Because the Vegas we loved wasn't perfect. It was wild, dangerous, human. But now it's just a brand. And behind the brand, there's no soul left to sell. Vegas was built on a lie, but it was a beautiful one. Cheap rooms, free drinks, a shot at fortune if you dared to roll the dice. Everyone knew the odds were stacked, but that was the point. It was the feeling that mattered. The illusion that luck could change your life. Then the corporations came along and decided illusion wasn't enough. They wanted everything. Welcome to the greed economy. It started small, a few dollars added to your bill here, a service fee there. Nobody noticed at first, but in 2025, Las Vegas has perfected the art of legal pickpocketing. Every inch of your trip, from check-in to checkout, is designed to drain you dry. Resort fees, parking fees, early check-in fees, late checkout fees, even convenience fees for using your credit card. There's a charge for everything except leaving, and even that costs gas. The old Vegas was built on generosity. The rooms were cheap because the casinos wanted you at the tables. You'd get comped buffets, free drinks, and a smile from a dealer who might actually root for you. It wasn't altruism, it was strategy. The house made money when you had fun, but today's Vegas has flipped that logic upside down. The fun doesn't matter, the fees do. The suits figured out they could make more money pretending pretending to offer luxury than actually providing it, so they started squeezing. Hotel rates shot up 25%. Buffets that used to cost $20 now hit $80. Want to park your car? That'll be $40 a day. And when you think you're done, they'll slap on a resort fee, a $55 charge for Wi-Fi you didn't use and a gym you never saw. Executives call it revenue optimization. Tourists call it robbery. But here's the dark part. People keep paying it. Vegas has turned into a psychological trap designed to make you feel like you've come too far to back out. You'll justify the $25 drink because you already spent $500 on the room. You'll shrug off the $9 soda because, hey, it's Vegas. And by the time you leave, you won't remember how you got conned. You'll just remember the lights. This greed isn't just killing the vibe. It's killing loyalty. Longtime visitors, the ones who came every year, are walking away. The trust is gone. They remember when Vegas was a deal, a party, an escape. Now it's just another overpriced theme park run by CEOs who've never walked the strip without security. The tragedy is that it didn't have to be this way. Vegas didn't need to price itself into oblivion. It chose to. The corporations discovered they could make a fortune in the short term by hollowing out the long term, by bleeding the city dry one transaction at a time. And the craziest part, the people making these decisions don't even live here. The suits cash out, the executives move on, and the locals are left holding the bag. Because while tourists get ripped off for a weekend, residents pay the price forever. Vegas was supposed to be the last honest con, a place where you knew the game was rigged, but you played anyway. Now the game isn't just rigged, it's rigged by people who don't even play. And as the greed machine hums on, the next set of villains enter the story. The ones who claim to save Vegas while quietly selling it piece by piece to the highest bidder. When a city starts dying, the vultures don't wait. They swoop in wearing suits and smiles, promising revival while quietly tearing off the last bits of flesh. In Las Vegas, those vultures wear name tags that say mayor, senator, or economic development director. And behind every ribbon cutting and press release, there's the same story playing out. Taxpayers footing the bill for billionaires. Welcome to Count the Stadium scam, where politics meets illusion and the house always wins. It started, as it always does, with promises, jobs, revitalization, tourism growth, the same empty buzzwords that politicians repeat every time they sell public land to private empires. The pitch was simple: build shiny new stadiums and entertainment districts, and Vegas would reinvent itself as America's new sports capital. The Raiders got their $2 billion Allegiant Stadium, funded largely by public money. Now the A's are next, bulldozing the historic Tropicana to make room for yet another taxpayer-backed arena. The logic is absurd, but effective. Officials claim these projects boost tourism, even as tourism drops. They promise thousands of jobs, but most are temporary construction gigs that vanish once the ribbon's cut. The real winners are the developers and the politicians who collect campaign donations from them. The losers, the locals, watching their taxes climb while their neighborhoods crumble. Behind the scenes, the deals look more like ransom notes. Public land sold at a fraction of its value. Infrastructure paid for by city budgets that can't afford to fix potholes. Entire blocks rezoned to benefit casino-adjacent developers. All under the banner of progress. But progress for whom? Take a drive past the construction zones and you'll see it. Empty promises wrapped in steel beams. The city's pouring billions into stadiums while schools struggle for funding and homelessness surges just blocks away from the strip. The same government that says it can't afford affordable housing somehow finds endless cash for luxury arenas. It's not just bad economics, it's moral rot. Vegas politicians have turned civic pride into a business model, auctioning off the city's future for photo ops and private jets. The Tropicana, a piece of Vegas history that survived 6 decades of chaos, is being wiped out for a baseball team that barely draws crowds. And the saddest part? Locals aren't even surprised anymore, because in modern Vegas, corruption isn't a scandal, well, it's a tradition. Every investment is another transfer of wealth upward. Every revitalization project is another step toward gentrifying locals out of their own city. The old Vegas ran on risk. Gamblers taking chances, dreamers chasing fortunes. The new Vegas runs on guaranteed returns for corporations, for developers, for politicians. Everyone else is just background noise. So while the lights of the Strip keep shining, the city's true assets, its land, its people, its history, are being pawned off one stadium at a time. Vegas isn't reinventing itself, it's selling itself, and the buyers don't care what's left when the deal's done, because once the last ribbon is cut and the cameras are gone, the only thing left standing in the desert will be a few $1 billion of concrete and the ghosts of what used to be a city built for everyone. If the corporation stole Vegas's soul and the politician sold off its body, then automation finished the job by replacing its heart, the people. Las Vegas was never about the buildings or the lights. It was about the workers, the dealers with quick hands and quicker smiles, the bartenders who remembered your drink from the night before, the bellhops who made you feel like a VIP even when you booked the cheapest room. These weren't just employees, they were the magic, the human pulse behind the illusion. But in 2025, that pulse has gone quiet, drowned out by the cold efficiency of machines. Casinos call it innovation, locals call it betrayal. Across the Strip, the change is unmistakable. Self-check-in kiosks have replaced front desk clerks. Chatbots handle concierge services. Digital bartenders now pour your drinks with robotic precision, but zero soul. Dealers who once bantered with players have been replaced by hybrid terminals, where one overworked staffer monitors 50 screens of faceless gamblers. MGM, Caesars, Wynn, they all brag about streamlining operations and reducing overhead. Translation, they're firing people to boost quarterly profits. The city once known for its human touch is now run like an airport. The numbers are staggering. Since 2020, Vegas's hospitality workforce has shrunk by tens of thousands. Union negotiations grow uglier each year as corporations push for more automation and fewer humans. The people who built this city, many of them second or third generation workers, are being replaced by glowing tablets and error-prone AI systems that can't smile, can't empathize, can't care. The result is a Strip that feels hollow. Players complain that the casino floor is lifeless. There's no banter, no energy, no shared joy when someone hits a jackpot. The city that never sleeps now feels sedated. Efficient, yes, but cold. And the cruelty runs deeper than atmosphere. Every robot bartender represents a laid-off parent. Every kiosk stands where a front desk worker used to earn a living. And the worst part, the executives celebrate it. They call it the future of hospitality. They boast about cost savings as locals lose homes, take on second jobs, or leave the city altogether. To them, Vegas isn't a community, it's a controlled environment, a simulation. But what they don't understand is that Vegas was the people. The city was built by their hustle, their charisma, their chaos. You can't code that into a touchscreen. You can't algorithm your way to humanity. Automation didn't just replace jobs, it replaced connection. It stripped away the only thing that made Vegas special, the feeling that for one night you were part of something alive. Now it's just lights, noise, and machines feeding money into bigger machines. And while the executives toast to their efficiency revolution, they forget one fatal truth about Las Vegas. People didn't come here to feel efficient. They came to feel alive. But as it turns out, the final betrayal didn't come from the boardrooms or the robots. It came from us. From the people who looked the other way while the magic disappeared. The final suspect in the death of Las Vegas isn't a CEO or a politician. It's us, the tourists, the ones who came for the lights, the stories, the chaos, and then stopped caring when it started to change. Because while corporations gutted the magic and politicians sold off the city piece by piece, we stood there, phones out, smiling for the pictures. We watched the transformation happen in real time. The rise of fees, the layoffs, the coldness creeping into the service, and we kept coming anyway, posting selfies in front of a dying city like tourists at a funeral. Once, Vegas was about connection. You met strangers at a blackjack table, swapped stories with a bartender, watched a magician bomb on stage, and laughed with everyone else in the crowd. It was messy, unpredictable, alive. Now it's a backdrop. The Strip isn't a place to live memories anymore. It's a set for content. The new visitor doesn't care about the experience. They care about the photo. Instagram changed Vegas more than any developer ever could. Every casino redesigned itself to look better in pictures. Every restaurant turned its meals into props. It stopped being about how it felt to be there and became about how it looked online. And in that shift, something vital died. The authenticity, the grit, the weird, wonderful heartbeat that made Vegas feel like it belonged to everyone. And we didn't protest the changes, we normalized them. We shrugged off $20 cocktails because that's just Vegas. We accepted $50 resort fees, $30 parking, and robotic bartenders as part of the experience. We stopped expecting soul and started paying for spectacle. We forgot what it was supposed to be. By the time the outrage hit social media, the viral clips of $9 sodas, the $300 hotel nights, the half-empty casino floors, it was already too late. The Vegas we loved was gone, replaced by a perfectly engineered illusion of itself. The truth is, Vegas didn't just get killed, it was allowed to die, and we all helped bury it. And every time we came for the TikTok moment, every time we paid the resort fee, every time we said, it's not the same, but hey, it's still Vegas. Maybe that's the saddest part. The corporations only took what we were willing to give away. The city that once represented freedom, rebellion, and possibility became another stop on the influencer circuit. Polished, hollow, soulless. So when you walk the Strip now and feel that emptiness, the quiet hum under the noise, remember this: it's not just the casinos that changed. We changed. We stopped caring about wonder and started paying for convenience. We stopped wanting to feel alive and started wanting to look alive. Vegas didn't just lose its magic, it lost its audience.